Hey guys, it's me, Randy the Ram here, with an exclusive video. Oh, Hulk Hogan, how are you, brother? Well, I don't care who you are, brother. This is my show.
Hola amigos, it's Will here from Will's Custom Figures, coming at you today with a big bad breakdown and work in progress video of 5 of my up and coming WWE WWF Hasbro retro figures. So please guys sit back and relax while I talk you through why and how I'm making this set and all the details in between. And here we go, guys. Here is none other than Mickey Rourke, the wrestler, at the very, very front. Of course, then on the side here, on both sides, in fact, we have Great Muta, aka Keiji Muto. So 2 different versions of him, of course, one with the mask and one without. Now, on the far right here, we have none other than Wahoo McDaniel, one of the NWA and old school legends from back in the day. And on the right here now, now it's rotated, we have Andrade, aka I think the ex-partner of Charlotte Flair. Not 100% sure about that one and all their inner family politics, but nevertheless, this is his 2024 Royal Rumble return attire. So let's break it down, guys. Why am I doing this video? Well, I like to do the in-progress videos, so if anyone wants to look back when they are actually finished, they can look and see how the process went, what I've been working on. And you can see they're all at various different levels of completion at the moment. Now, speaking quite obviously, Andrade is ready just for paintwork. Everything has been done there that I need to do, apart from adding his man done on the very, very back, which I'm going to do using this this nice clay, which is the Procreate putty. I have Wahoo McDaniel, where I've just got to build and finish off his headpiece. He wears this awesome looking Native American headwear, which he was absolutely renowned with wearing. Now, onto the 2 Mutas. As you can see on the left and on the right here, they are missing their gowns. One of them is completely unmasked, and as you can see, looking really, really cool, using the British Bulldog base here, and with his tongue sticking out. It's a really cool look, and I can't wait to get it finished. I've worked on multiple versions of Muta over the years, and never, ever, ever have I worked on an unmasked one. So very excited to get that done. He won't be wearing a robe, etc., I don't believe, but I still need to go back and have a look at some of the pictures and the artwork that was sent across to me for this commission, and can't wait to get that one finished. Now, you can see here Andrade looking absolutely brilliant. I've just put on, just before this video, the pictures of Andrade on his return, and I didn't realize the guy had so much style and so much charisma. But oh my god, this is one of the most iconic Royal Rumble returns, at least I can recently remember. Now, using the Ultimate Warrior base here, of course, a nice chiseled ab section. And now let's pull him up nice and close to the camera. I've used the Ultimate Warrior base here, and I've added a lot of clay and sculpting onto the outfit. Now, with these awesome looking robes that he's wearing, this is still actually raw clay. The first thing I would do before creating any of this is getting everything that's going to be underneath the robe. So, for example, with Ultimate Warrior, he of course has the iconic tassels. Shaving those off with a Dremel drill is number one and most important. Then adding on the kick pads, making sure it's got that nice little design and a little sharp cut in, and then going over the front of the foot. The knee pads, covering those completely, as I mentioned, and then he has a circular belt buckle that's on there as well. The guy's absolutely shredded, in great physical condition, so making sure that the Ultimate Warrior base is fit for purpose. And also adding sleeves. You can see here I've added nice sleeves all the way down. I've used a sculpting tool to just cut nicely around and make sure there's a beautiful, fresh and a sharp edge there, just like the actual real gear that he wore on the night. Now, this head sculpt was sent to me, I believe, from an official AEW or WWE version of the figure. Really, really like this head sculpt. Here we go. Look at that up close. What an absolutely brilliant mask. I forgot just to add on the man burn, as I earlier mentioned, on the back, but I'll get that added before I start painting. Now, he came out with these sort of like hands, this sort of crest, like pure gold on the top here, and I've tried to replicate that as best as I can. Now, this is actually made using the Procreate putty, so it does move. If I made this like I have with the rest of the outfit using Super Sculpey clay, it would be very, very brittle and potentially tear and break. I've added on the little shoulder pads, and I've also, you don't have to kind of be perfect when adding in all of the clothing, because all clothing is imperfect. And I'm really, really happy with how that looks so far. Now, the rest of the robe, all I do quite simply for this is just get a rolling pin. I roll it out, get the Super Sculpey beige clay, very, very hot, very, very warm, and roll it, use a rolling pin then, and I simply attach this lower half and just make sure it's nice and adhered to the plastic, to the original plastic. I also have to, it's very important, glue the back of the waist here, because if he can still turn, what's going to happen? It's going to snap the clay once the clay has dried and been cooked. Added on a nice little collar here, and then added two little sheets of clay here and here, and sculpted those down and blended them in as I went. But very, very excited to get Andrade finished. Absolutely badass. Now moving on to the legendary Hall of Famer himself, Wahoo McDaniel. Very, very excited to get this one finished. I love Wahoo McDaniel. I have actually made one earlier. I'll try and find out the picture of it and include it just before this video. But yeah, he, of course, wears the iconic Native American headdress, as I mentioned earlier. That's the only part of the engineering, of the sculpting, of the creation that I still need to finish. But other than that, a quite straightforward wrestling attire, wearing the singlet, of course, the straps over the shoulders. I've used the Hacksaw Jim Duggan base, which I think is a really, really good base. The guy was a big, big old boy, big man. And he was kind of like, you know, sort of like builder, thick, rather than Andrade previously, which is more sort of bodybuilder and crazy physique. But very, very happy with that. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use a Procreate putty to create the headwear that he's wearing, or if I'm going to use card. So card is a great, great way to do it. One thing I would do when creating the feathers and attaching them on, I would cut the card to size, and then I would use a super glue and an accelerator just to put over the card to make sure it is structurally sound. If you're not doing that, card will just bend and break. So imagine if I've put the headdress on now, made out of card, I would just go over it with an old paintbrush, and of course then with the super glue, putting it on. Wanted to do a nice little up close shot. Fair play. I believe this is a Jack's head sculpt of Wahoo McDaniel. Very, very accurate. I love the hair. Absolutely brilliant. And these straps, of course, I've sculpted on using Super Sculpey clay. I've added some skin colours on there as well. You don't have to cover the entire back, so a lot of this will be done with paintwork, but you can see it is nice just to get the top of the singlet complete there. And here we go with the two different versions of the Great Muta, Keiji Muta. Of course, WWE Hall of Famer as well, from the Orient, from Japan. Now, as you can see, two very, very different body styles here. We have Mr. Perfect Physique here that I'm very excited to work with. You can see that somebody's previously tried to customize this one. And if you've seen any of my previous Great Mutas, I'll put a couple of pictures of those before this video. I've made multiple using this very head sculpt, and you can see they're very sharp spikes on the top, but never one with the Mr. Perfect body. And I've got the pirate one, the zombie one, and a few of the different versions to create this time round. But really, really excited to get all of this created. Of course, he'll be wearing big robes that will cover up all of the Mr. Perfect outfit. So really, it's just a case, do I like the way and the style of the arms and of the structure of the action figure if I'm going to use this as a base? And I really, really am. I think it's going to look great. This version of Muta on the right is also going to have a removable mask, so stay tuned for that, guys. I cannot wait to get this one finished and showcase him to you. Now, let's bring over this awesome-looking Great Muta unmasked. Of course, we very, very rarely get to see him unmasked, but yeah, this is going to be an iconic outfit. I've just featured, before this video, a picture of the outfit that I'll be using to create this. The British Bulldog base is brilliant. Of course, Great Muta was never known for being as huge as a British Bulldog, but yeah, using clay to cover up some of this musculature here is going to be key to making sure it looks accurate. And what a great 3D head sculpt as well. I really, really love this. There are some lines and scores on there, as you'd expect from sort of 3D prints, but nevertheless, I'll be able to cover those up with clay and with paintwork as well. And this is why I enjoy doing these videos, guys, because the wrestler is one of the most iconic wrestling films that was ever made. Of course, Mickey Rourke starring as the main character. Absolutely phenomenal film. Just watched that with my son, and it shows the inner workings of the wrestling business. Now, you can see all the different figures are at different stages here. With the previous two Muta action figures, you can see I've just used Super Sculpey clay to attach the head, done nothing with the outfits. However, you've then got other characters like Wahoo McDaniel, where I've added on all the little intricacies like the singlet and so forth. Now, with the Ram Jam, I've done very little. You can see it is indeed Rick Martel. There is an awesome looking 3D head sculpt. Very, very excited to work with this. I've made different versions of Ram Jam before, and yeah, I cannot wait to get this guy finished. Now, the type of clay that I'll be using is this. It is Super Sculpey Beige. I would highly, highly recommend it. Of course, once I've attached the head on there, the rest speaks for itself. It's all just the paintwork there. One of the things I am going to have to do is that if I just put the head like this and attached it on, he's got such huge muscles at the back of the shoulders here that you might be able to see that the hair on this 3D head sculpt and the muscles at the back mean the head sort of sits too far back. So I'm going to need to use my Dremel drill to take off some of that size there and a little bit on the inside of the hair here. But when that is done, nevertheless, this is going to look absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to get this in the collection and to get it finished. I have made the Ram Jam before, and I'm looking forward to getting Randy the Ram, the wrestler, completely finished once and for all. And here we go, guys, bringing this video to a close. My final reflections. I can't wait to get this set finished and created in some of their most iconic outfits. What would I rate them? Well, it's hard to say at the moment, but they all have the potential to be absolutely phenomenal and some of the best figures that I've ever worked on. Now, what's next for this channel? Actually very close to finishing Norman Smiley, Cal Malone, the Slipknot characters. I'll be coming up with a action figure of Clown, as well as finishing Corey Taylor. I'm very, very close to finishing Kenny Omega, a new version of Spider-Man that I've worked on customizing, and none other than Judge Dredd. So please, guys, stay tuned for that. I look forward to hearing and seeing you guys very, very soon. Please feel free to reach out on Facebook, Instagram, or here on YouTube. If you've liked what you see, let me know in the comment section below. From myself, from Mickey Rourke, from the two great Mutas, catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Hey!